If there's one word that describes the 2012-2013 Grove City Wolverines, it's resilient. Beset by injuries even before the season began, the Wolverines have battled through pain and adversity to remain pound for pound one of the toughest teams in the PAC. In his 15th season as head coach at Grove City, Steve Lammy has been forced to juggle a lineup that has seen 11 different players earn starts this season. The primary reason, of course, has been the injury bug. However, Lammy doesn't look at the injuries as a negative, but instead a blessing in disguise.
I think it will help because we played 13 guys last night, and we needed everybody. And we've told our guys that it doesn't matter if you play 1 minute or you're going to be playing 38. That minute or those 38, they're all important.
With a roster that's chock full of youth, the Wolverines heed their coach's words, aware that every minute on the floor matters. And because of injuries, every player knows that there are minutes to be had.
The thing about our team is that it's because of that mentality of 1 minute is the same as 38 minutes that we're able to play 13, 14 guys and not necessarily have that big of a dip in performance. Every day in practice, it's a battle.
And I think that makes practices really competitive when you know that there's really an opportunity for you to play, whether it's just a little bit or a lot, and that means you're going hard in practice, and that's like iron sharpens iron. We're going against, we hope, is the best defense in the league when we practice against ourselves. So not only that, but it's giving our young players opportunities that may provide dividends next year.
Senior co-captains Nate Rombacher and Steve Battaglia both have overcome injuries in their career. For Rombacher, a weight room accident early in the season left him with 4 stitches in his toe and briefly out of the lineup. For Battaglia, he spent the early part of his career recovering from a dislocated knee.
It was tough. It was definitely a struggle. Like, there'd be times where in the summer I'd be like, man, am I ever going to be able to bend my knee again? And just persevering through that and seeing coming back my sophomore year at the beginning of the year in the fall with preseason things like barely jogging and all right, just keep going at it, just keep working, keep building strength. And so it was definitely a process where you learn a lot. You learn a lot about the game and about yourself, and it was definitely rewarding.
Having dealt with and returned from their own injuries, Rombacher and Battaglia have served as great examples for their younger teammates.
They've done great, and they're different types of leaders. Steve Battaglia is the more vocal guy. They both lead by example, but Steve is more of a definitely more of a vocal leader. Gets in your face, and that's good in a good way. Nate is more behind the scenes and will talk quietly to a guy. And I think they play in that. They play their personality, if that makes sense. But I've been happy with what they've done.
Along with resiliency, another term often referred to in the Grove City Dictionary is the standard. For the 14 underclassmen on the roster, that standard is personified by the team's 2 senior leaders.
We have a code. Some of the codes that we run on and off the floor and stuff like that. It's like if a team calls a timeout, we sprint from wherever we are to the coach. We're always in the stance. We're always blocking out. Those things are things that the younger guys look up to us and see, and they're going to do it. We're talking on defense. They're going to talk on defense. We set that standard for everybody.
It's just been you just one day, whatever coach gives you as your role, that's what you got to take it as, and you got to play the standard. And it's kind of just you really got to learn all right, no matter what, this is what everyone's looking at you on the team, and you're being a leader here, and so you got to play that standard. You got to get after it, no matter where you're at in the lineup. And that's kind of just the role I've taken on, is just kind of be doing that. I think it's been going great. I think guys have just really seen just the different ways I've just been on and off the court, and just being able to see that and give them something to look off of.
Benefiting from the steady guidance of Rombacher and Battaglia, sophomore Mitch Marmelstein has provided a spark for the team on both offense and defense. After starting 24 games as a freshman, Marmelstein has followed that up by leading the team in scoring, among many other statistical categories.
Mitch is our energy. In the locker room, he's always one that's getting fired up. He's always the one that's ready to go. Scoring-wise, we look to him if we need something. He's our guy that can make things happen for us. teams are going to start double teaming him, triple teaming him, stuff like that. But he still manages ways to figure things out. He's always the guy that he's a problem solver. And he's great at what he does, and that's why we love Mitch.
Along with Marmelstein, sophomore point guard J.T. Schwartz is a dynamic passer that inspires the team on both ends of the floor.
He's a fiery player, pushes the ball well in transition, and he can do things with the basketball because of his quickness that maybe other than Christian Durbin, no one else on our team can. And so he is that spark, whether it's a three-point shot, driving to the basket and making a tough play. He leads us in steals, and so a steal for us is it's like a dunk in terms of like getting us motivated to play, especially on defense. Yeah, he's done a very good job.
Joining Schwartz in the backcourt is another sophomore who brings additional flair to the guard position, Christian Durbin. Combined, the two exert tireless energy and ability to get the basketball in the hands of their fellow Wolverines.
These guys, we call them the ninjas. They're the small, really quick guys. They're darting around everywhere, and I love it. It's tough sometimes because you have no clue where they're going or where they're coming from. You'll get passes that sometimes at your ankles, other times 3 feet above your head. You just don't know when it's coming to you. They just manage to fit the ball in places that are not supposed to be. So it's great playing with them, though.
Because of the work ethic of the players and the drive to overcome injury and adversity, the Wolverines march into the second half of the season, having won 4 of their last 6 games and with aspirations of a PAC championship. To accomplish that, the Wolverines will need more of what's brought them this far: the Grove City Standard and their youthful resilience.
I think overall that youth is resilient. And I'm talking about freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And so they're able to maybe just forget about it. I mean, they're concerned with the kids that can't play, but there's opportunity there as well. And if they've trained well in practice, then they should be prepared to play. And so, again, we're looking at it as an opportunity. Now, we have to adjust maybe how we play, maybe go to sometimes a smaller lineup, but ball's in your court. So play to the standard. That's what we talk about.